Ah, there we are. I think that's it. Can you guys hear me now? Is my mic? Yeah, it's not on mute. Can you guys hear me at all? I might need to turn off that light. I'm not sure if that helps, actually. I think I need to turn it back on. Maybe lower it a little bit. That kind of helps. Oh, well. Yeah, you guys. Okay, cool. Thank you, Vince, for you. I appreciate that. So you guys can hear me. Awesome. I think that. Let me full screen this thing. And I guess I'm not going to be able to really see your guys' chat. Hold on a second. Let me bump this up just a little bit. Take care of those edges, I guess. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm trying to get too high tech with it. This mask was supposed to be my streaming mask, and I totally messed it up right before our stream started. So I was like, oh crap, I don't have time to make a new mask. So I just had to kind of work with what I got. So if you guys can tell, I'm missing an eye and a little bit of the mouth part, but I think that'll be all right. I think it's going to be just fine. So, how are all you guys doing? Oh, I can see my lackey. Do you want to be on the screen, Frank? That was a big shrug. That was a big shrug. I don't know if you want to or not. Do you want to? Because we could split it on the screen. You do? All right. You guys are getting a real treat. This is Frank. If I can get him in here, add to stream. There we are.
With my lackey mask on.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I think Frank was the first guy to receive. I think you've got mask number 2.
Yeah, after mask number 1 being yours, right?
Exactly. And I think this one's like mask number 5 or something, but it got all mixed up in the numbers.
You don't even know which one you're wearing any given day?
No. Well, I have got mask number 1, and that's the one that I wear in every single video that I make.
Okay.
So that's mask number 1. That is the ghost fake mask.
And then the new red bloody zombie one that you're going to use, right?
Yeah. So I'll be using that one occasionally, and then yeah, we'll see if it evolves any further from there. But yeah, that one will be for now. It is just for zombie movies. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe, and I've got a couple different variations that I'm working on, so we will see how those variations go. But there's one that ended up looking like a oh, what would you call it? It looked like the face was melting, and it was just really gross looking because it was a bunch of red wax. But it worked out pretty well. But I can't use it on screen yet. So
my glasses get all messed up. So I was telling someone in the Discord the other day, I've been messing around with screen masks since I was a kid, and when I was younger, I took the lenses out of one of my old pair of glasses and I sewed them into the eyes.
Yep.
That was nice. That was sweet. I would just put the mask on and my glasses would be in it.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about doing that, but I think that I need to get a prescription with the tint on it so that it looks like the eyes are just black.
There you go.
But it's all a work in progress at this point.
For sure. So you said a second ago you weren't going to be able to see people's questions. Why not? Can you set me to be the admin again so I could put their questions on the screen?
Oh, okay. How do I do that?
I don't remember.
Oh no!
Right, like there's probably 3 dots on the screen near my name, and you can there's options there.
Yep. The options are edit name, edit mic settings, kick from studio, and ban from studio.
You don't want to ban me.
Yeah, I don't want to ban you.
I don't remember how we did it last time. So
I don't remember either.
We'll really have to set this up better next time.
yeah, it was definitely a fail on my end.
So then here's the thing. I could read the questions. I see them. It's on both our ends. You see all of them popping through. If you want, I'll just read them to you so you don't have to be so paying attention to everything.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone throw your questions into chat. we will get them answered. This is good times. We hope some of you here were here just for the Dead Alive watch long. That was a lot of fun, bro. Thank you for picking that movie.
Yeah, definitely. I love that movie. It is just bonkers all the way through, and it is so much fun.
What's your favorite horror game? It is so much fun. I think we might have had that question in a previous watch long, but what's your favorite horror game? Is
I
asking
think we
Detective
may
George.
have. It's who was that?
Detective George, Shack.
Okay, Detective George. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't play a lot of horror games. I just don't really have the stomach for them. They kind of mess me up a little bit. The last one that I played was Alien Isolation, and I think that game was fantastic because it really, really brought you into the alien universe. You felt like you were in the movies, just that grimy kind of future feeling. But by the time the xenomorph showed up, I was so anxious that I couldn't play it anymore. But aside from that, I mean, like I used to play the hell out of the Resident Evil games, and I think I even saw a question about the new Resident Evil movie. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like it did a good job conveying the the games into a movie. Which, because if I'm going to be honest with you, I saw the first Resident Evil in theaters, and I was severely disappointed. And I think I saw the second one, and once they made the Nemesis kind of go friend to whoever that girl was, I can't remember her name, Alice. I was kind of like, oh, this is dumb. So I haven't watched any of the new ones. But back to horror games, I used to play the hell out of the Resident Evil games. I always had a blast with those, but they didn't make me feel the kind of anxiety that Alien Isolation did. So it was, Alien Isolation. I played it for probably a couple hours, and I thought it was just absolutely fantastic. But it was a little bit too much for me. So I don't play a lot of horror games.
Have you seen this guy whose name is Ghost Cake?
Yes, I've seen him in the comment section.
That's an amazing name.
I know, right? It's awesome. I think the first time that I ever saw him in the comments, I think I told him that I loved his name.
Terrific. He wants to know if you've seen Scream 5 yet, and he has another question about Wolf Cop 2. But I want to know, I forget if you've answered this. Have you seen Scream 5 yet?
I have not.
Get that
here. I know I've been sleeping on it. I just went to the theater for the first time in like 2 years. I think the last movie that I saw in theaters was It Chapter 2. But I just took the kids to go see the new Spider-Man movie, and I had a blast. I thought it was awesome. And I almost went to go see Scream 5 when it opened, but then I was like, man, I kind of want to save it for when I can do a video on it, and then we'll get the legit first impressions on it when I get to watch it. So I've been kind of avoiding some of the spoilers and stuff. I've listened to a couple summaries, but nothing too in depth. But yeah, I'm kind of saving it for when I can watch it at home. I know that sounds stupid because most people want to see it in the theater for the theater experience. But if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I'm just not too big into theaters. I'm not concerned about getting sick there or anything like that, but I'm just not big into spending that much money to go see a movie in theaters.
The Radio Kills guys say that it should be out on Paramount or Peacock or whatever it is within a few weeks. So that's awesome.
Oh, really? That quick?
Yeah, the theatrical window has, like, it used to be 90 days, 3 months, and now it's been cut down to 6 weeks, and that's even kind of just a joke. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Chris wants to know, Mutant Theater wants to know, what horror film got you into the genre? What was the first film you saw? First horror film?
So there's a little bit of backstory in this. Back when I was a kid, my closest sister and I, we used to we would sneak around. Either we'd be in the living room where my mom didn't know we were watching, or we would sneak off into our room. And there's a story that revolves around that too. But we really bonded over horror at a really young age. I think I was pretty young, man. But one of the first movies that is my fondest memory is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And we were sitting there watching it in the living room. And when my mom noticed what we were watching, she goes, "Turn that crap off and go to your room." And so we turned it off and went to our room, and then turned it on the TV in there and got to finish it. But another movie that I saw really early on was A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And and it was right at the part where he is making out with that girl in his room and his tongue gets all gross,
Mhm.
and that really affected me. And there were other parts in the movie that really affected me. But we had this love for watching horror movies because it kind of took us away from our real lives, which were not super great.
Mhm.
They were pretty horrific, actually. But so it was kind of like an escape for us. And so, as long as I can remember, and I think it just started specifically with Killer Clowns from Outer Space and A Nightmare on Elm Street, because those were a couple of my earliest memories. But it also revolves a lot around the Jaws movies because when I was born, I think all four had come out, or the fourth one came out the year that I was born. And we used to, whenever we got to go to my dad's house for the weekend, we would go to the movie store and rent all four of them and watch all four of them, and then go swimming because he had a river in his backyard, um, which it was not a great river to be swimming in. There's alligators and stuff in there. But yeah, it was awesome. So those are some of my fondest memories. And I'd say that those specifically, the Jaws movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, specifically number 2, and Killer Clowns from Outer Space were what really got me into horror movies.
Killer Clowns was the first movie that you chose as a watch along for the Halloween watch along 2 years ago.
Yes.
It was at like 2 a.m.
Yep.
It was right after Clown. We had just watched Clown.
Yep.
And then we went straight into Killer Clowns. And that was an epic, like, between 2 to 5 a.m. moment. Like we really,
it really was.
We really kept the people's attention. And like, and Clown really had people twisted. Like,
yeah, because a lot of people hadn't seen it yet.
They had no idea what they were about to get into.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a really cool watch along too, because when you picked Clown, I was a little bit pissed because I didn't realize it was streaming. I saw that it wasn't on Netflix anymore, and I was like, well, crap, I guess I'll pick something else. And then you picked Clown, and I think it was on Tubi. And I was like, oh, I wish I would have known.
Yeah, right. Ethan Cool Bro 18 Gamer wants to know, do you think Derry deserved what happened to him in Jeepers Creepers? Is that Justin Long, Derry?
Yeah, Justin Long was played Derry in that movie. Well, I mean, he wasn't a bad character at all, but at the same time, it's like, who doesn't deserve what they get from the Creeper? It's not like the Creeper is an odd one, because it's not like you're doing anything wrong, where, like usually with the slashers, you have some sort of weird morality that you're to uphold, and if you don't uphold it, you get killed. But the Creeper just kind of goes after anybody he wants a piece of. So, man, that's a tough question. I don't think Derry necessarily deserved what he got. However, if I were to pick who was going to die between him and his sister, it would be him. No offense. Thanks for the question, Ethan, by the way.
It's a good question, right?
Yeah.
This is a good one too, by Koopa the New Guy. What is a horror movie that you hate but everyone else likes? And I feel like you probably have a list of those. Like, you got
yeah, oh man, I might have to think about that. I'm gonna say Friday the 13th, and obviously Jason 2 through 10, because the first one's the only good one. Man, I'm gonna, and obviously I said that tongue in cheek, but you know what? There's a movie that just came out not too long ago that, you know what? The new Wrong Turn movie. I really despise the new Wrong Turn movie.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but who likes that movie? Like,
I heard great things about it when it was coming out. In fact, I've heard more positive about it than negative. So
the positive I heard was this was a good movie, but it shouldn't have been a Wrong Turn movie.
Like, yeah, see, and I don't even know if I agree with that. It shouldn't have been a Wrong Turn movie. There's no way that it should have been a Wrong Turn movie. But it also, I thought, just as a movie, it was complete trash. Some of the kills were pretty good in it, pretty effective. But by and large, I've avoided covering it on the channel, and I have no plans to cover it on the channel because I really hate that movie. It was beautiful. They didn't do a bad job making it. But it's absolute trash. I hate it. I really hate it.
Series, right? You did 1 through 6 or 1 through 5, whatever it is.
Yeah, I did 1 through 6. It took me about a year to do all those movies. But I mean, yeah. But Yeah, and I actually covering those movies, I ended up liking them more than I did when I saw them the first time. But dude, the new Wrong Turn movie, I really, really hated. I absolutely just I didn't like that movie. But I'm sure that I can think of some others. Uh, let me cook on that one for a little bit, and I'll see if I can come up with some more.
We have some more questions. Of course, I'm surprised it took this long. When you do face reveal,
I think at 120
okay.
million subscribers, I think that's the going number right now. So 120 million subscribers, and I will do a face reveal.
120 million subscribers, bro. We're gonna be big time then. Holy shit. I've been saying since I met you, and since like we all started hanging out, me, you, Video Creep, everyone. I was like, one of us is gonna blow up. One of us is gonna freaking blow up, and then all of us is gonna just like ride the coattails, you know?
Dude, that's the funniest thing too, because you used to uh, 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 refer to my channel as the uber popular YouTuber Ghost Fake Survivors Guild or something like
When
that.
you had 75 subscribers compared to like
Yeah,
Channel of the Living Dead's 1,000. I was like the most popular YouTuber you'll ever meet. Like
yeah, it was hilarious because I was the one with the lowest at that point, and then yeah, and then last the clown video happened, and that one seemed to go over pretty well with audiences, so that was cool.
right. Amen. As it should, as most of your videos, before that should have went over just as well. And they finally found you after that one. Uh,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts talking about Jeepers Creepers? What are your thoughts about the reboot? I know there's like clearly a lot of like hate on the fact that like you can't love on Jeepers Creepers because of the director's past history. So Infamous Wolf wants to know what your ideas are about the reboot.
If I'm in, here's one of my concerns that I have about the reboot
Mhm.
is um I think the first that I heard about it was back in 2022. I think I want to say October or something. And the very first that I heard about it was that everything was shot and it was in the final edit and they were getting ready to release it in 2021. And then it just you kept going months without hearing anything about it. And then you get a teaser trailer and now it's finally it was gonna come out in February of this year, and now it's not gonna come out in February. Excuse me, I burped. And now it's not going to come out in February. We just haven't seen enough of it to know what's going to happen, and I that is concerning me. I honestly don't know what to expect from it anymore. I don't care for the way that the creeper has looked in some of those pictures, but I'm sure that they're going to dress it up a little bit. Um, I'm excited. I think it'll be cool when it comes out. I think it'll be hopefully a fun watch. Um, I hope they don't totally undo everything that the last director did. I don't like the last director. He's a piece of shit. He probably should be dead. But uh, I mean, it is the Jeepers Creeper series is not super great, and number three is awful.
Number two's
But
pretty good too.
what?
I don't really love number two either, honestly. It's all right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's no, it's okay. It's borderline kind of boring because it goes for a while, but number one was really good, and I hope that they go back to the roots of making the creeper actually kind of scary. Um,
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't have too much of opinion on it yet because I want to see it when it comes out, and I plan on covering it for the channel. But it's just been weird that it took so long, and then it like now it's being delayed, and now it sounds like it's not even finished. I just don't know what to expect.
We shall see. Ethan Ab YT, I think, has asked more than once now, and I've been meaning to ask his question. What type of horror movie actually makes you scared or ill? Because for them, it's uh, psychological films that make them scared or ill. What like we sit here and we watch Santa Jaws or whatever, and clearly we're not scared of Jaws. And we even sit here and we watch Dead Meat or excuse me, Brain Dead or Dead Alive, and you're grossed out by it, but you're not scared of it. So what really scares you?
You know, it there's man, in terms of movies that I really enjoy, it's going to be creature features, because there are a few creature features like the Reef, where it just kind of puts you on the edge of your seat for the entire movie, and it's not anything cryptozoological. Cryptozoological. It's just a shark. It's a big ass shark, but it's played really tense, and so that it's not that it scares me, but it keeps me on the edge of my seat. Um, in regards to movies that actually are kind of scary, I'm gonna go with something paranormal.
Mhm.
So I don't really care for the genre of paranormal all that much. I thought The Conjuring 1 was pretty damn good, but I didn't like The Conjuring 2. Um, and I haven't even seen the third one because I just don't feel like I need to, and I haven't seen any of the spin-offs either. But like something like Paranormal Activity. That movie scared the hell out of me. And it was just it was really effective as far as scares went, and I think that it wasn't playing with the jump scares cheaply. Um, so I'm gonna go with movies that really terrify me are the ones that are based in reality as far as animals go, like sharks or alligators. But then on the flip side, also paranormal stuff. I'm not a big fan of watching paranormal stuff. That's the stuff that makes me feel uncomfortable while I watch it.
You know what was interesting about the creature feature answer? Because the second you said creature feature, I was taken aback by that being your answer because I immediately jumped to Jeepers Creepers, like monster features. But like
Uh-huh.
then the second you like crawl was scary, like
Yeah.
like that, or like the pool where the dude was stuck, the Thai movie where the dude was stuck
Oh
in
yeah, with with the crocodile. Yeah.
crocodile. Like those were scary, tense movies. Like you really are getting into it. You're like because you could feel that like it's super real. And what's funny is that that paranormal is almost on the opposite end of that because like you could argue that it's fake, but there's so much belief in it that like you get into it. So
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't know anybody who, when they're alone in their house and they hear a creak somewhere, doesn't get a little bit, oh shoot, what's going on?
bro,
But
both
it's
my
like,
animals died recently. My cat died a few months ago, and every once in a while when I hear a noise, I'll think it's her. And then when I realize she's dead, I'm like, well then what the fuck was it?
yeah, exactly. There's stuff like that where you hear a sound in your house and you're like, oh man, or in my case, I'm up really early. I'm up way before anybody else in the family, and uh, I can't bring myself to watch paranormal movies at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just it freaks me out too much.
Right. Here's a good question. Let me scroll back up to it. I like this, and I'm gonna like expand on it. Like I haven't. Would you consider covering Japanese horror films? But I could like kind of say, would you consider covering international horror films? Like, have you ever done any of a different language with subtitles? I don't know. I don't remember.
I have not yet. The first one that I plan on covering is Battle Royale,
Yeah, that's
and
a
I
fucking
haven't even
good,
seen that movie yet.
bro.
So I'm not sure how that's gonna go.
It's gonna go
Um,
real
is
well.
it? I've heard a lot of good things. I've always heard really good things about it.
Yeah,
Um, and then yeah, I actually am hoping to at some point cover Juon and Ringu.
nice.
And but that would be like a really big series because you've got what, do they have like 9 movies in Japanese? And then
Yeah, and then
they've
the most recent one is like Juon versus it's like the Grudge versus the Ring or something.
yeah, yeah. And so you've got all those, and then you've got the American remakes. You've got 3 Ring movies, and
Mhm.
then I think, holy crap, you got like 4 Grudge movies.
Yeah, the newest
So
one by Nicholas Pesci. Who I haven't seen it. Have you? Did you see the newest Grudge movie?
I have not. I've had zero interest in seeing that one either.
I have zero interest in the movie, but the director made Eyes of My Mother and I forget the 2 other movies he made off the top of my head, but they're fucking so good. And so I
That's
really
what I've heard.
for it.
Interesting. That changes my opinion. I've not heard anything good about that movie though.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, that's those I do want to branch out other than just movies that are here in the States. And I know that I've had a few requests of uh I think it was Portugal, but I could be wrong. But there's a series of horror movies that I was requested to cover that are Portuguese. I think I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I've got a lot of watching to do to get to those.
As we all do. Ethan YT is asking. I just want to make sure people feel like their questions are heard about what your first horror movie was, which you already answered, and they're saying theirs was Jaws, and yours was. It sounds like Jaws was amongst the first as well. So that's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Jaws is a great horror movie too. My kids love shark movies. So it's fun to just sit down and watch the Deep Blue Sea movies or the Jaws movies or getting into some of the more obscure sand sharks and all that fun stuff. But shark movies are an excellent way to kind of ease little kids into horror movies. But yeah, Jaws was definitely among some of the first.
100%. And so then on the opposite end of that, he's asking or they are asking, I don't know, what your first movie was. What was some of your favorite horror movies of 2021? A lot of people kind of don't keep up. Like a lot of us horror fans kind of just get stuck in we love Scream or we love Halloween and we're rewatching them forever. Do you watch a lot of current movies? Clearly you do. You review some of them.
Yeah.
So what were some of your favorites?
I'm gonna put up two of my favorites. I know that I have a third, but I can't remember what it is right now. But and they're not all that scary. They're more of horror comedies. But Psycho Gorman is by far my number one movie of 2021.
100%.
And then I really, really enjoyed Benny Loves You.
Benny Loves You was fucking amazing.
Man.
I agree with you. Those are my two favorite movies of the year. 100%.
Hey, yeah, that's awesome.
And the director of Psycho Gorman did The Void and the newest Leprechaun movie, Steven Kazansky. And so he's fucking killing it. He's literally my favorite new director of you don't really know him yet, but his movies, you're starting to hear about them. And he's
exactly. And his movies have Psycho Gorman was such a small movie, but the effects in it are so big. And he was doing all of the effects himself. He had him and his buddies working in his garage, building these costumes and these ridiculous gore effects and stuff. And man, the Psycho Gorman was a movie that I watched. Oh man, I probably watched that one about a dozen times last year too, because it was so much fun.
You haven't even done an episode yet, and you watched it that many times.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun to put on, and it was like he caught the 90s aesthetic really well. And the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers aesthetic and all that stuff. But just having Psycho Gorman show up as dressed up as Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, and then that little kid that gets turned into that giant brain, and the movie ends with him still being that giant brain. That movie is just fantastic. That easily my favorite of 2021.
Absolutely. I ordered the toy plastic meatball, the people who made the Joe Bob toys, and they had it up for pre-order. I paid for it 8, 9, 10 months ago. I still haven't got it, but I ordered the Psycho Gorman toys. They're on their way whenever the heck they're ready.
Awesome. Those were really tempting for me, but I was like, I'd probably just rather buy some more movies.
Yeah, they were expensive. It was $70 for two of them. So yeah, I can see that.
That is more expensive than I expected.
Yeah, it was a lot. Vids for you who hung out with us throughout the evening as we did our watch along of Dead Alive wants to know, what werewolf movie do you think has the best transformation scene? I just watched a really good one the other night, but which one did you? Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go with An American Werewolf in London. That is by far, when it comes to just how creative the effects are for this guy that's changing into a canine. It's just fantastic. But it's funny. I'm covering Wolf Cop right now, and I'm about to cover Wolf Cop 2. And just when it comes to the incredibly gross idea of somebody just ripping off their skin, and Wolf Cop, for being a much more low budget feature, they do a damn good job with making him gross when he comes out as a werewolf. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with the classic American Werewolf in London. And to be honest with you, I'm not super big on werewolf movies, but I don't think that I've seen any that I could even compare to that. So what was the one that you saw that you.
It was watching your Wolf Cop episode. As you said that, I was like, "That's right. I didn't watch a whole movie recently." Because I literally was sitting here thinking, I was like, "What movie was it?" And as you said that, I was like, "No, I was watching your episode and I watched that transformation." I was like, "That was really good."
It was. It's if I could have kept all of that footage in there uncut, you would have seen it.
Yeah,
It is such a great transformation, and it just the skin ripping off. And there's at least one transformation in Wolf Cop 2 that's equally as visceral and gross. So
yeah, right. Um, where are we? Do you? Well, that's. I feel like so there's two good questions here. I'm gonna go to Ethan Coolbro 18 Gamer. Ethan Coolbro 18 Gamer. Who is your favorite horror movie villain? His, I assume, because Ethan is Freddy Krueger.
if you're gonna go with the classics, if it's kind of the pick between Michael, Freddy, and Jason, I'm gonna go with Freddy Krueger. He was the most creative and the most interesting of those classic slashers. But I also really, really, of course, I enjoy Ghostface. I just like the aspect of, for one, just the surprise at the end where it was two killers. I remember the first time I saw that movie. This was before you could really get a whole lot of spoilers.
Mhm.
Um, and just that movie. Actually, let's see, I was fairly young. I was probably about 9 when I saw it, and that movie scared the hell out of me too. Because that the beginning scene with Drew Barrymore and her boyfriend gets gutted on the chair, and the light goes out, and then when the light comes back up, you see his guts hanging out of him. That scared the hell out of me as a kid. I was like, "Oh no, your guts can fall out of you." Um, but it's I really love the idea of Ghostface.
Which,
I thought his costume was awesome always. But I also really, really enjoy Cropsy from The Burning. I
yeah,
think that The Burning is, it's kind of gotten more, what do you call it, popular in recent years. But The Burning was one of those camp slashers that didn't seem like it caught it. It didn't seem like it lived up to its potential until recently, when people really started to realize how they kind of missed out by not watching it yet, because it's really effective and really well done.
it caught on to that like Shutter hipster like chopping mall uh,
Yes.
thing where it's like, there are certain movies that were one-offs that were. I mean, I love Chopping Mall. I didn't see that. I was not a fan. I didn't know The Burning until recently, so I actually caught on in this new vibe of it. But like, there are certain movies like The Stuff and stuff like
Uh-huh.
where like they were popular back in the 80s and they had their following, but now they're like getting like they're having a resurgence. And that's
Yes,
great.
that's a great way to put it.
There's no problem with that. It's terrific that they are. And The Burning I brought up while we were watching Dead Alive is that like The Burning, when I saw that for the first time just 2-3 years ago, it made me reevaluate like sleepaway camp, Friday the 13th, all the different summer camps. I was like, this is the greatest summer camp slasher of all time. Why haven't I seen this?
Yeah, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, because at that point, you've seen the Friday the 13th movies, and take them or leave them. But The Burning is a really good one that really deserved to have more sequels than, because obviously it didn't have any sequels, but it deserved to have at least one more movie come after it.
It did. A couple people have asked this, and I know your opinion, so I'll ask for them. They want to know what you think of Dead Meat, the other YouTube channel. Random 10-year-old who likes Deltarune asked it, and the hybrid asked it. And as far as I remember, you didn't know what Dead Meat was when you started your channel, and then found out what they were. Am I wrong?
It's pretty close. So the timeline of events went when I started Soup Reviews. I knew of, in fact, Bloodbath and Beyond was the only horror movie channel that I was even aware of, and that's why uh, early on I I wasn't doing Survivor's Guilt. I was doing Soup Reviews, which was dumb in and of itself, because nobody is going to search for horror movie reviews called Soup Reviews. Um, but uh, it was in the process of trying to figure out what I was going to do, because all I was doing was summarizing the movies, and I wasn't really giving a review, except I was just making a summary and then making fun of them. And uh, I came up with an idea of trying to figure out what the odds were for a horror villain to survive the movie, or how a horror villain would survive the movie. And then it turned into, well, let's just see what your odds are of surviving the movie. And so, uh, in my first, I think I had gotten out, or it was in the process of nailing that down. That's when I discovered Dead Meat. I had been listening to the podcast for at least a year prior to that, but I had never checked out the channel and I had no idea what a kill count was. And then, so as I kind of figured out more about kill counts and how those worked, I was like, okay, well, that's a really good way to lay out how what your odds are of surviving this movie are going to be. So if you notice, I didn't start putting up numbers for the kills. I think until the first Wrong Turn movie. Prior to that, it was just telling you, oh yeah, and then this guy dies, and then this guy dies, and then at the end, okay, so we'll count these people as survivors, and then this is how many people who died. And so it took a little while for it to look more like a regular kill count. But ultimately it was like, well, the kill count is just the best way to kind of make this look better. And then from there, I'll be honest with you, I haven't kept up with the kill count videos. Unless it's a movie that I've really wanted to see, or that I want to see what they say about it or what kind of jokes they make. I watched his kill count for Psycho Gorman, and I watched his kill count for Benny Loves You, and I think that I enjoyed those movies a whole lot more than he did. And then I think I've watched the first two where he's having his buddy do the Tremors movies, because I know that James A. Janice is taking time off to get married and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that his whole audience is going to be there when he gets back. Because I think Lorne, I think is his name, he's doing a really good job covering the Tremors movies, and they've been fun to listen to and watch. But it's one of those things where when you change a channel like that, YouTube is so finicky that just taking off a couple weeks, if you've been putting out a video every single week, can totally tank your channel. And I really am hoping that he's able to pick up right where he left off and keep running. I think he's done an awesome job making kill count videos really fun and interesting. And I think he's doing a really good job. He's made it really big on YouTube, and I am psyched to see somebody on YouTube that's making horror videos that reach such a broad audience, because that is going to do so much better for the genre, that we'll be able to, that's going to be felt through the entirety of the genre. So I'm excited to see that. There's a ton of other really good kill count channels out there, and there's a ton of just really good horror channels out there, like Dr. Wolfula. Dr. Wolfula has been doing his thing for almost a decade, I want to say. And man, he should be a whole lot bigger than he is. If you guys haven't checked out Dr. Wolfula, his videos never cease to make me laugh. But yeah, sorry, that's a really long answer, but I like the kill count. I don't watch it that often anymore because I don't watch a whole ton of YouTube anymore. Yeah.
YouTube.
What was that?
You're busy making YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, dude, waking up at 1 o'clock, working on videos until 5 o'clock, and then working out, taking a shower, getting ready for work, go to work from 8 to 5, come home, hang out with the family, and then go to bed.
Was your earlier videos before you started doing the kill count, the kill count Survivor's Guild? What is your chance of surviving? Was your workout videos? You made. We don't
need to bring those up.
You still there? Did you remove them?
I think I privated them because I was like, oh, these are bad. It was I was trying to hold myself accountable to a workout regimen. And so I was like, okay, I'll do videos on it and edit them together and stuff to make it some sort of creative habit. But yeah, that's no bueno. Those were just horrific.
The thing to learn from something like that is the creative habit, because who cares how bad or good it is? It's about like being like, I'm gonna make a workout video every Thursday, or I'm gonna make a kill count video once a month. It's about getting into the habit, and then once you get into the habit of creating something, you then figure out what the more appropriate thing to create is. And so,
Definitely.
you should never be embarrassed about the fact that you made silly workout videos. You should be just as proud of them as any other video because they're what got you to where you're at.
It's a little bit of pride with a lot of shame. It's really because I didn't keep up with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I gained a bunch of weight, and now I'm working my ass off to lose a bunch. So, yeah, fun times.
Indeed. The hybrid has asked this a few times. I don't understand exactly what they want to get from this question, but maybe they'll extrapolate. They're asking, would you go to a haunted house when you do your face reveal? I don't know.
Ooh, you want a face reveal from a haunted house?
I guess it's that simple, right? Is that really it?
I don't know if I'd want to do that because at some point, a face reveal is going to feel really vulnerable, and I don't think that I would want to feel as vulnerable as I would feel if I was in a haunted house.
Yeah.
So if I was going to do a face reveal, I'd probably do it somewhere safe, where I don't know, nobody in life is going to see me. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's hey, random 10-year-old who likes Deltarune. Hey, laters, guy. Have a good day. But yeah, that's I don't know if I'd want to do it in a haunted house. I don't think that'd be very fun. But I
Right.
guess we'll see when we get there. We've got some time.
Let's start wrapping things up. We have another watch along starting in 25 minutes in the Monster Fam Discord. We're going to be doing a Scream fan film watch along. We got the director of Ghostface, the series, showing up. But
Awesome.
the question here from Rainbow Fright, our good friend DeRay, and I feel like this could you give pretty lengthy good answers. So
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We'll have to do like a rapid fire someday.
That's why they turn in. What's one of your favorite non-horror films that isn't an animation or superhero movie? So no Pixar, no Marvel, no DC. What's one of your favorite movies that's like, drama, comedy, out there into the world?
Great question. Hands down, my all-time favorite movie is Arlington Road. If you guys have ever seen Arlington Road,
written by Aaron Kruger.
what was that?
Written by Aaron Kruger, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Who ended up writing Scream 3 and then destroying the series. Arlington Road. No, keep on going. I'm sorry, keep talking.
Oh, okay. So it's got Jeff Bridges in it, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name. What's the other guy's name?
It is written by Aaron Kruger. Exactly. That's the.
Oh, okay. So it is written by Aaron Kruger.
Yeah, but it has Jeff Bridges, Tim Robbins, Joan Cusack.
Yep. So it's got Tim Robbins in it and Jeff Bridges. And if you haven't seen that movie, you need to go out and watch it immediately. It's a real downer of an ending, but it is so good. And it was probably one of the first movies that I ever saw that had an ending that was that effective. And it is hands down my absolute favorite movie. Some of the other ones would be Frailty, but I guess that counts as a horror movie. But Frailty was a really good one. The Last Castle, if you guys have ever seen that one with Robert Redford and the dude from The Sopranos. I forgot his name now. Oh, and then 187 with Sam Jackson. That's another movie. It's not it's horror adjacent. The stuff that's happening in it is horror adjacent, but 187 is a really damn good movie too.
That's amazing. Ethan wants us to know that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is his favorite movie. But I thought that was amazing. Arlington Road. I'd never seen Arlington Road, but I remember it blowing up. And I remember it being like a huge deal and people being really into it. And then Kevin Williamson didn't want to write Scream 3 because he was writing Killing Miss Tingle, which ended up becoming Teaching Miss Tingle. He got really into Teaching Miss Tingle and he gave up Scream 3 and they handed it off to Aaron Kruger. And I was so upset with that movie that I couldn't watch Arlington Road. I hated it so much after Scream 3 that I was like, there's nothing good in the world that this man could do.
Have you not seen Arlington Road yet?
I haven't to this day. To this day, I hate Aaron Kruger because he ruined the Scream franchise for me.
That is a fair take, but you have to give Arlington Road a shot.
I will.
That movie is so good. Oh man, I just want to spoil the ending for you, but I can't.
I will
If
watch.
he would have done something closer to Arlington Road, obviously the plot of Arlington Road wouldn't fit in a Scream movie. But obviously Scream 3 is the weakest in the franchise. But it could have been something really good. Unfortunately, I did not know that he also was the one who wrote Scream 3. That's sad, but you need to watch Arlington Road.
I will. I will. So people, Ghost Cake has been asking if you've ever seen Event Horizon.
Yes.
Horizon.
Event Horizon was let's see, that movie came out I think when I was 12. And I used to see previews for it pop up on TV, and I thought it looked really scary. And I think I saw it maybe a year later, and yeah, that movie was scary as all hell. I watched it again, I think last year, and it was originally going to be covered on the channel last year, but I didn't get around to it. But I love Event Horizon. That movie's a whole lot of fun. I believe it was done by the same guy who did the Resident Evil movies.
Paul
I'm
W.
drawing a blank.
or whatever.
Yeah, Paul W. Anderson. But yeah, like Event Horizon is another really fun watch. And just again towards the end of the movie where you see that guy butterflied up on the hanging from the cables or whatever, and his guts are all spilled out on the table. Just super effective, super scary. And then you've got Dr. Alan Grant with his eyes plucked out. Man, that movie is just I love Event Horizon. That movie is still one that I want to cover, and I might even cover it this year. I'm not sure.
It's always worth covering. All right. Well, I'll close with a question of my own then.
And then after your question, we've got to do one more thing, and then we can close it down. Go ahead.
Do you have the tape I sent you?
Yes, that was going to be what I closed with.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my question. So perfect. That's what we're closing with.
Excellent. There's going to be two things here. This is the first thing. If you guys can see that, let me turn off this light here real quick.
Light on it. It's a little blurred. There you go.
There we go. Check this out. That is the Survivor's Guild VHS that Frank made me. This thing is awesome. I just got it in the mail yesterday, I think, which it got all the way from you in one day, which was kind of amazing. But man, just in a clamshell case and with the Survivor's Guild stickers on it and the Be Kind Rewind stickers, this thing is amazing. Frank, thank you so much. This was one of the coolest things that I've ever received.
This is one of the coolest things I've ever received. It was such a personalized gift, and like to make friends online, like get a little personable while we're sitting here talking on YouTube and shit. To make friends online that like mail you nice personal gifts and like are thoughtful like that is an awesome thing. And it had me thinking like, what could I share in return? And like those tapes that I made for you and Mike, Video Creep, like. I had so much fun making them, and like I knew that I hoped that you would appreciate them, and I knew you would.
Dude, yeah, it's such a cool gift, and like I was super excited to send you one of the first extra masks that I had made, and at this point, there's only I think 4 or 5 people out there that have one. But yeah, thank you so much for that. It was just awesome. It made my day. I completely even forgot that it was coming. But yeah. Totally awesome surprise, and just too cool. I don't know, it puts a huge smile on my face. The last thing real quick, so if you guys are aware of the Patreon, we've got a couple different tiers. There's a $1 tier, in which case you get access to exclusive videos and early access to videos that are going up on the channel. Currently, we're throwing up the Evil Bong and Ginger Dead Man series. Yes. Those will be going up on the channel in April. But for now, I'm covering them as I'm getting time. The Evil Bong video should be up either this week or next. And then the Ginger Dead Man video is already up. But those are going to be up on the channel in April anyway. But if you join the $5 tier, each month I'll be giving away a custom ghost fake mask. And this month's winner, January already got theirs, but this month's winner for February is Vids for You. And Vids for You, this is your custom ghost fake mask. And I will be getting that in the mail shortly with a couple DVDs. And since you live in Australia, that is going to take probably about a month to get to you, but it'll be on its way.
You should offer anyone who wins a mask, they should like be offered the opportunity to come onto a live stream with us.
No joke. See, that's what I'm trying to hear. Here's a little bit of inside baseball, and then I'll let Frank go because he's got to get to that to the watch along. But I'm hoping that doing this will pop up more Survivor's Guilt channels, because then people can cover, and you know, they could do it in a ghost fake mask if they want, but they can do it however they want to do it. But so that they can cover movies that they want to cover and start a YouTube channel, start creating things, and it can be a whole network of people that are covering movies to tell you what your chances of surviving them are. And we'd just be able to cover so much more ground than when you're waiting for me to cover a movie every 2 weeks. So that's the goal. We're getting some ghost fake masks out there. I don't know if any of these people want to start a channel, but if they do, they should totally consider it.
Amen. Awesome. Freaking always a pleasure, bro. Ghost fake. Survivor.
Definitely. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate this. I appreciate you having me host on in the Discord. That was a lot of fun. And I thank you for helping me getting this up and running.
My pleasure.
So, all right. Well, I think with that said, yeah, guys, if we're all good with the questions and Frank's got to get to his watch along, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us and asking questions. I appreciate that. If you have any other questions, you can just throw them up in the comments in the on the YouTube channel, and I will get to them either in the comments or maybe on the next live stream. But yeah, guys, thank you.
And go to monsterfam.com, hop into our Discord. You know, Survivor Guilt and myself are hanging out in there all the time. That's where we had our watch along. And we'll set up something exactly like this again in the future, where we watch a movie and then we hop into YouTube and hang out. So
hell yeah. Awesome. That'll be great.
Awesome.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Frank, for joining us with this. And if I can find my way out here, there we go. As always, guys, thanks, and don't die.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait, I didn't end it right. Damn it. Thanks and don't die, guys. Goodbye.